Welcome to Blown Bridges, the podcast where U.S. Army engineers tell the real stories, the grit, the laughs, and the legacy behind the Red Castle. I'm your host, Luis Martinez, former command engineer with 11 years in the fight. Here, we crack a cold one, bridge the gaps, and talk about what it really means to wear that castle, from broad clearance missions to lessons that stay long after the uniform is off. So pull up a chair and remember, sappers lead the way. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Blown Bridges, the podcast where we talk about loyalty, honor, and the bridges we burn or don't. I'm your host, Staff Sergeant Martinez, or you can just call me Marty. And today we're rolling solo, and that is right. No guest today, it's just me telling a story about respect, standing your ground, and earning it the hard way. Sometimes the bridges that you burn are mistakes, they are lessons, and sometimes avoiding a bridge teaches you more than just walking over it. And to continue with this story, man, let me just paint the scene for to you. So this was back in 2013. We were deployed to Afghanistan. I was working at the talk at the time. I was the first sergeant's driver. They needed people to go with them, so I got pulled. So anyway, I'm working just about February, February or March timeframe. I was up for my promotion. I was already on my primary zone. So I was up for promotion to E5, and I talked to San First Class. No, excuse me. I talked to Sarah Montano, Staff Sarah Montano, 88 Mike. He was my direct supervisor in the talk. So I talked to him. I was like, hey, Sarah Montano, I want to go to the board. Easiest freaking boards there are. Once you're deployed, everything is situational. So it was a piece of cake. So anyway, he said yes. Let me talk to San First Class X so we can see when you can go start studying, all the whole 9 yards. So anyway, he goes and talks to San First Class X, and I think the day after that, San First Class called me. He like, hey Martinez, let me talk to you real quick, man. So I like, all right. We went over to the smoke pit, and he breaks it down. He's like, hey, so Montano talked to me about you going to the board, and I don't think you're ready. And I said, why not? And he's like, well, I just think you're not ready. I was like, okay, but I'm gonna send you to the board, and you're going because of me. I was so confused at that point. I was like, wait, you don't think that I'm ready, but you're sending me so you can take credit? Obviously, I didn't say that. But he's like, yeah, so you're going next month, but just know that you're going because of me, not because you deserve to go. I was like, wow, all right. So that was it. That whole day, I just thought about it. I didn't mention anything to anyone. And anyway, next morning comes around, and I talked to Sarah Montano and I explained the situation, and I was like, "So what should I do?" He's like, "Hey, Junior," because they call me Junior. That was a San First Class Martinez. So obviously, all the NCOs just said Martinez, and sometimes if we were nearby, both of us would turn around. I like, "Oh no, the sergeant type." But anyway, they call me Junior. So anyway, here's the dilemma with that. I could have gone to the board. A few of my buddies went. We went to basic training together, and they did go to the board. And I decided not to go. Why? Because I don't like having shit handed to me. I thought I was ready, but the words of this NCO just they broke my spirit. So I went up to my first sergeant. I talked to him. I explained the situation, and then he looked at me and he's like, "Hey, Junior, goddamn, bro, fucking respect. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go. Much less on those terms." So anyway, at that point, I felt like someone actually cared about their soldiers. He could have encouraged me to go to the board, but he understood my point of view. So sometimes it's better just to avoid some bridges rather than just burn them or just crossing them. Um, but yeah, long story short, didn't go to that promotion board. Uh, I think from that point on, my first sergeant started to notice how much I worked and you know my true value as a member of that company. Um, but it is what it is. Sometimes it's just easier not to cross a bridge rather than just get something handed to you and have other people say shit about you because of that. So anyway, some things that I learned from this is that respect is not given. You have to earn that shit, man. You know, you don't need to fight everyone, but you need to stand your ground. Again, decide exactly who you are. And sometimes, stepping back, look the entire picture rather than acting with anger. It creates more credibility for you and how you present yourself. Also, another thing that it showed me or that I learned from it is who to talk to. Not everyone is your buddy, not everybody is your friend. And in this case, once I told this certain first class that I wasn't going, he actually got upset um, because I think, and that this is just me, that was one lesson number he could put on his NCOER, stating that I sent X amount of soldiers to the board. So I was one lesson number on that bullet. And honestly, that's how also the how life works in the civilian world. Not everybody is out there to help you. Most of the time, people in the outside in the civilian world, they're there to bring you down. And with my experience, not everyone respects you because you stand for one thing and they stand for a different thing that they take the shortcut. And honestly, I mean, I don't like taking shortcuts, so it's hard to know who the first sergeants in the civilian world are. You need to look for those fucking first sergeants that are going to support you and to push you even further so you can progress in your career. But anyway, shit happens, I guess. So here's my question for you guys. When was the last time you guys faced a bridge you could burn, but you didn't? Do you regret not doing it, or you actually took you took a different road? Just I want to hear your stories. Send that on a DM, reach out on Facebook. Um, I do have a link there on Facebook where you can submit your form. You want to participate with us. We can share stories like this. And I guess for today, that's going to be it. Just a little short introduction on how this show is going to work. You know, just remember that sometimes the bridges that we don't burn, those are the bridges that teaches us lessons. So stay honorable, stay smart, and I'll catch you next time. Laters.
Thank you for tuning in to Blown Bridges, where the 12 series share their stories one blast at a time. If you like what you heard, share it with a fellow engineer, a vet, or anyone who understands the motto, Pass on. Follow the show on Spotify, YouTube, and everywhere you listen to podcasts. Until next time, wherever there's an obstacle, engineers will find a way. Sappers lead the way.